Hello everybody, happy Friday. It's Juliet here, and today we are going to be making this gorgeous earring, which uses some supplies from Beebeecraft. And I will give you a coupon code if you need any of the supplies from Beebeecraft. You can go to their website and you can put in the code Jules10 and you'll get 10% off your order, okay? And I will obviously link everything down below, but this is the earring and I just love it. It's so pretty, and it's kind of following my theme for the year, which is color. Anyway, I'm super pleased with how this came out. I just think it's absolutely gorgeous. And I'm going to quickly run through the materials that I am using today, okay? So first of all, here we have these shell pearls, and these are rice pearls, and these are from Beebeecraft, and I'll put a link below for you for those. Also, I have some Aquamarine gemstones here, also from Beebeecraft, and I believe these are like 2.5 millimeter. They might be called 3 millimeter, but I will put a link also below for that, and I'll put on the screen whatever size they actually are once I double check that, okay? Then I have some carnelian beads, again from Beebeecraft. These are 8 millimeter faceted beads, and I picked out 2 beads that are a similar color because in the pack they have very light colored ones, very dark colored ones, so I kind of went for some that were all the same similar color here, okay, so that they will match. Then I also have here some seed beads. These are just Miyuki seed beads. So this color over here, this dark blue, which I'm only using here and here at the ends of the earring, that is number 1425, size 11 round, okay. Then here I'm using just some gold, galvanized gold 1052. If you wanted, you could use the Duracoat version. I'm just using the normal version. And then I have some 15-0 seed beads 420, which kind of match the pearls. Then I also have these flower bead spacers that came in a set from Beebeecraft that has lots of different sizes. So I'm using the largest ones out of this set, which I am pretty sure are 6 millimeter. Let me just double check that really quickly. Yeah, so those are 6 millimeter flower bead spacers, okay? And then I also have these earring hoop earring findings that are so gorgeous. And again, these did come in a set as well, with 2 pairs of the gold and 2 pairs of silver. Where did I put them? Oh, they're here. So I've already used my other gold ones in the last video that I did last weekend, but so you get 2 pairs of silver and 2 pairs of gold, and they're just so pretty. I love these. I have a wire guardian here, which you can also get these from Beebeecraft, so I will put a link for that for you. If you do not have a wire guardian, you can also use like the French wire or French gimp, it's called. Just cut a little piece and you can substitute that for a wire guardian, okay? I have some head pins. Again, you can get head pins from Beebeecraft. I'll put a link for that as well, which are what I've used to create my little drops here on my earring, okay? And then I also, on the earring, you'll notice there's these little stones that are just glued into the middle of these to kind of cover up the threads that I have used. And I'm going to glue some on the back. I had to wait for the front to dry. And I think I'm just going to use a different color, like a pale color on the back. But anyway, I I'll show you what that is. So that are these little flat, oh, that's open. I need to be careful. I didn't know it was open. Yeah, they're just little flatback little stones, just resin or whatever they're made out of, plastic. But just to finish off the front, it looks nice if you cover up your threads by gluing those on. And I'm using this very, very dark blue. Now I tried this lighter blue and it's a little too pale, okay? And I tried the orange, but it was too bright compared to the Carnelian. So I think this dark blue is a nice option. So I've got those up there for me to glue on later. And then in the way of actual other things that you're going to need a beading needle. I have a size 10 but also a size 12 because towards the end I did need to switch to a size 12 to get through the gemstone. Sometimes the gemstone holes, these ones on the Aquamarine, are not that big, so just so you are aware. Then you will need some jewelry glue to obviously glue on. I'm using GS Hypo Cement. You could also use E6000 or any other type of jewelry glue that you like, okay? And then you're gonna need some things like wire cutters for when you're making your wrap, round nose pliers again for when you're making your little drops here, obviously scissors to cut your thread, and a couple other pairs of pliers just to help with opening the earring and so forth. So an assortment of pliers would be good to have on hand as well. And I am using some KO nylon beading thread today. Any kind of nylon beading thread would be great. I am using my favorite beige because it blends in with everything here. You can't even really see it, which is good. So anyway, that's everything you're gonna need. These are just so pretty. I just love how this came out. Okay, so let's get started. Let me get threaded up and we'll get started. Okay, so one more thing before we begin. So we will be brick stitching, and there is an option where you can actually brick stitch just around one of the little things, and you'll end up gluing your little stone in the middle. You can use that for your earring. If you have, I told you when I did the unboxing we would talk about this. So you can make your own earring top. What you want is you want the earring findings that are for a half drilled stone, okay? So if you put in half drilled earring, okay, you're gonna get ones that have a little cup with a little bit in the middle. And what you do is you just glue this onto the back like this, and the little middle bit goes into the hole, which keeps it centered, okay, while you're gluing it and everything. So that would just sit on there like that, and then you would put your little crystal, glue your little crystal on the front here, like so, okay, and then you can put a jump ring through one of these holes and connect it on how or whatever you're gonna do. So you can make your own earring top if you want to, okay, but I actually like the way it looks with the hoop. I just think I like it. So I'm going with the hoop for this one, but I wanted to show you that that you can actually you know, make your own earring top. And these types of earrings are available from Beebeecraft. They actually have some really nice gold tone ones. I don't have any gold tone ones, so I'm gonna need to order some. But anyway, I just wanted to show you that. That's what you want, is the half drilled earring, okay? Okay, so get yourself about 3 feet of thread. It uses more than you think, but you can always add more later if you need to, okay? Go ahead, pick up one of your flower spacers, and push it down to leave kind of a 4-inch tail that you could weave in with your needle at the end. And what we're going to do is we're just going to tie a square knot around this. Okay, so once you've tied your knot, you're going to pick up your 8mm stone. You could use any round stone for this. It doesn't have to be a gemstone, but I think the gemstones look really nice. So you're going to then also pick up another spacer, okay, and push that down. And then you're going to go back through your gemstone. So what you want is you want your 2 spacers to have a little bit of slack so that they can sit like this. You don't want to pull so tight that it folds up, okay? So you want them to sit flat like this, okay? Go ahead, go through the first spacer, okay? And now we're going to pick up one of our pearls, okay, and a 11O seed bead, okay, and one more pearl. So a rice pearl, a seed bead, a rice pearl. Push it all down. And what we're going to do here is you're going to have to leave a teeny bit of slack right here so that this can sit flat up against that, okay? You're going to go under, up through the other bead spacer, okay? Then you're going to go back up through the pearl. Just leave a little bit of space right there, okay? You're going to go through that 11O at the top, through the other pearl, and then come underneath through the other spacer, the first one that we started at, okay? Then go back down through the pearl again. And I need to move all of that over. So I want it to be coming, all of this to be coming out where the second bump is on my spacer. So if this is the bump where my thread is going into the gemstone, I want to be coming out of the second bump, and same on this side. So just try and push it over a little bit, okay? We're going to skip the 11O at the top, and we're going straight from this pearl into the next pearl. And what you want is you want the thread here to make this come above it, okay? So pull the thread so that the thread goes underneath. There we go. And the two pearls come together, okay? So that's kind of what you want. And at this point, it's not very stable, so don't freak out about it, okay? You're doing fine. All right, coming out from the bottom of this pearl, I'm gonna go straight through my gemstone, okay? Okay, so I've turned it so that I'm coming out on the right-hand side from my gemstone, okay? Now we're going to pick up another pearl. Find one that, Some of them are a little bit longer than other ones, so I'm just trying to find two that are a similar length to each other here, okay? You're gonna go through the third spacer, okay? Push it down. You're gonna go back up through the pearl, okay? And then make sure that your one that's attached on here is kind of the right way, okay? You're gonna go up through that spacer. Okay, and then I'm going to go back down through the pearl again. So what I'm trying to do is connect this pearl onto both of my bead spacers, okay? So there we have that, is connected. Here I'm going to go up through my bead spacer again. I'm going to go back up through the pearl again. And just be careful because the threads on these spacers do not always go where you think they're going to go. They like to be awkward. So okay, once you're coming out from your pearl at the top, go ahead, head through your gemstone again. Okay, and then we're going to repeat on this side. So coming out from your gemstone, pick up a pearl. You're going to go through that bead spacer that you just added at the bottom, okay? And then you're going to go back up through your pearl. You're going to go under through your bead spacer up here, your flower spacer, okay? So these two pearls should be, the thread should be going on either side of these little bumps right here, okay? Go back down because we got to connect onto this bead spacer right here. So go back down through your pearl again. And again, make sure that your thread goes where you want it to go. I don't want it to go up here. I want it to go down here, okay? There we are, okay? And then just circle back again through the spacer and the pearl. Okay. And then go ahead and go down through the bead spacer one more time. All right, so you should have something that looks like this, okay? Okay, so I have flipped it over so that this is the top, this is the bottom, and I'm coming out from the middle of this flower spacer here, okay? So we're going to pick up one of our 2mm beads. If I can pick it up. And we are going to also pick up one of our gold 11-Os, a blue 11-O, a gold 11-O, and another of our 2mm beads. So this is what we have. Okay, so 2mm, 11, blue 11. And we're going to, so we've just come out from this pearl here, so we're going to go back down the side of that pearl, but we're going to go all the way down through the bottom spacer. Okay, so it's going to look like this, and then we're going to go back up through all of those beads. And once you get up to the top, you're going to give it a nice pull to kind of get that nice and tight in. You want these beads to be in as close as possible next to your pearl, okay? We're going to go again either down or up through the flower spacer, whichever way you feel like going is fine. And then we're going to go back up through, or back down, I should say, down through our 2mm bead. Okay. Now we're going to brick stitch 5 more of our 2mm here onto our flower spacer. So pick up a bead, sew up through the flower spacer, and then back up through the bead where you just came from, okay? You see how it's just going to sit next to the previous one like that. So that's brick stitching. So again, I'm trying to pick up a 2mm. It's very hard to find the holes on these. Okay, so again, pick up another 2mm. You're going up through the flower. Just hold your finger so that you're holding it up against the flower spacer, okay? And then you're going to go back through on the side where the thread is going under through the flower spacer. That's the end of the bead that you want to go back up into, okay? So that's 3, and I have to do 3 more. Okay, so I'm just stitching on my 6th gemstone here. Okay, so that is my 6th one in place, and now we are going to pick up 6 of our gold 11-0 beads. Okay, so pick up 6 in total, and then you're going to sew up into the gold bead at the very top, okay, like this. Then you're going to pick up 6 more. Plus 1 of your gemstones. Okay. So 6 plus a gemstone, and you're going to sew down into the other flower spacer on the other side, okay? And then you're going to go back up into the gemstone. Okay, and pull that nice and tight. Then we're going to continue on. Coming out from our gemstone, we're going to stitch 5, brick stitch 5 gemstones around this one, okay? So I'll go ahead and kind of hurry through that. Okay, so I'm just finishing sewing on my sixth gemstone on that side, okay? And then we're going to do the same thing that we did here. So you're going to pick up a gold bead, a blue, a gold, and another gemstone. Okay, you're going to, again, I need to adjust where this, try and keep your two pearls as close together as possible there, okay? And I'm going to sew up through my flower spacer at the bottom and then back up through all those beads again. And again, come out through your flower spacer and sew back up through the gemstone that's at the edge, plus the gold bead. So you want to come out from the first gold bead, and I think I'm going to have to switch needles here. Give me 1 second. Okay, I switched needles and then I was able to get up through my gemstone. You do not want to put pressure on these because they can break, and then you're stuck if it breaks. Okay, so I'm coming out from the gold bead right here, okay? I'm going to pick up a 15-0 and brick stitch that onto the thread right next to the gold bead that is above the gemstones. Sorry. So you're just sewing under the thread and then back up through your 15-0, okay? And that's just going to sit right there next to the gold bead. And then you're going to pick up a gold bead and again, just sew under the thread. Okay, so we're brick stitching here. And up into the gold bead, back up again. Then pick up a 15. Same thing, okay? So you're going to go all the way around this circle right here, okay? Brick stitching onto this thread until you have 5 of your 15-0s, okay? So 5 15-0s, and each one has a gold bead in between, and at the end you have a gold bead. So you should be able to fit that many around there. So it starts with this gold bead that leads off here. You're going to have 1 15-0, 2 15-0, 3, 4, and 5 with gold beads in between, okay? So go ahead and finish brick stitching those on, okay? So you can see here, as long as I have my next gold bead here, which is the middle, sorry, my next 15-0, I should be able to fit them all in fine, okay? So I'll do that quickly off screen and then I'll come back. Okay, so I am just adding on my last 15-0. Right before the 11-0, and then I'm going to also go down the 11-0, and I'm just going to brick stitch that onto the thread that's there as well, just to get them to kind of attach together a little better. Okay. So once I've done that, I'm going to sew back up through the first 5. Obviously I'm coming out the 6th one, so just sew up 5, not into this middle one. Go up 5 of the gold beads. And once you're coming out from the 5th bead, you're going to pick up 1 gemstone, and then you're going to go down the next 6 beads. Okay, so don't worry if this is not quite sitting perfect right now. Okay, we'll fix that later. Sorry, I should be coming out from the gold bead right here, the bottom one. Okay, so once you're coming out from the bottom one, we're just going to do a quick brick stitch. So go under the thread that's between your 2 gemstones there, and then go back up through that first gold bead. Okay, so now we're going to repeat our brick stitching on this side. So you're going to have 5 of your 15 O's, and you're going to finish with this gold bead here. Okay, so just go ahead, pick up 15 O, go under that thread, go back up through that 15 O, pull it up next to the gold bead, and then grab an 11 O, up through the 11 O, grab a 15, grab an 11, okay, so go ahead, finish adding the last few gold beads, and you should have 5 again of your 15 O's. Okay, and so I have added my last 15 O on this side. I'm going to sew down through that bottom gold bead, and again I'm going to just brick stitch under the thread that is there at the moment. And back up into the gold bead, and just follow that whole line down so that you're coming out from your gemstone at the bottom. Okay, so those are my 2 sides are now brick stitched. This is the tension right here is not great, so I'm gonna have to fix that in a minute. But okay, so once you're coming out from your gemstone at the bottom, you're going to go down through your flower spacer and back up through the gemstone. We are going to brick stitch 4 more gemstones right here. So this should also have 6, which should fit like this, okay? And that way you'll have a little gap at the bottom to put your hanging drop from, okay? So you're gonna go ahead and do 4, and also if your threads are in the right place, you should have 4 bumps. So you basically want one gemstone where each of the bumps on the flower spacer is. Okay, so go ahead, break stitch those 4 coming out from the top of your gemstone. You're gonna pick up a gemstone, go under your flower spacer, back up through the gemstone, and make sure that you keep your tension here loose enough. There should be actually quite a lot of thread between each gemstone, okay? So don't try and budget right up. There should be quite a lot of thread showing at the top there, okay? So let me do another one. Just don't pull super tight. Go up through the flower spacer. Remember, the threads are supposed to be between each of those bumps, okay? So you're going to want them to see how much thread I have showing there. That's what you want. You want it to be quite loose, okay? I'll just quickly do the other two. And here on my last gemstone, you're going to go up through the gemstone. And then you're going to go down through the next gemstone because we still need a little bit of thread right here. Okay, so go down through that gemstone. Under your flower spacer, okay? And back up through the gemstone and through the gold bead right here, the first gold bead, okay? Then we're going to, again, brick stitch our little edge of alternating 15 O's and 11 O's around this. And on this bit, I got 6 of my 15s, okay? So we already have our first gold bead here. So you're going straight into a 15O next, okay? And same thing again, just brick stitch all the way around, just like what we've been doing. So I'll do that off camera and then I'll come back. Okay, so I just added on my 6th 15O, and then I have to brick stitch this gold bead onto just to join them together. So go through that gold bead, go under the thread there, okay, and then back up through the gold bead. And you can continue up through the next 2 beads as well. Okay, go ahead and go through all those. All right, so all of our beads are in place. We have to work our way up here so that we can add on our connector right here, okay? So I have found that I do need to pull it a little bit open, a little bit more open so that it will fit around my gemstone, okay? So you may need to do that. All right, so to get back up to the top here, we're going to basically zigzag through our beads. So I'm coming out from the gold bead here, okay? So I'm going to go up through, and any beads that need a little tighten, this would be a good time to do it. So I'm just going up and down through each of these beads. So, you know, I went up through the 15O, down through the 11, up through the 15, down through the 11. Just work your way up and down through the beads. And you can also go through and re-stitch any of these, like stitch again. It's a good idea to help stiffen everything up. I don't have enough thread to do that right now, but you may also consider stiffening your work with something like Mod Podge or something. Okay, and then here I'm going down, so I'm going to have to do a little brick stitch with the gold bead just to turn around. So I'm just going down the gold bead through the gap between the between the two beads and then back up the gold bead. So I'm just stitching under that thread basically that's there. Okay. And then you're going to go all the way up through the first 5 gold beads at the top. That's my tail. Okay, when you're coming out the top, pick up your wire guardian, okay, and push it down. Go down through the other side of your wire guardian. Okay. And here I am using my size 12 needle, by the way. Okay, so once you come down the other side of your wire guardian, you're going to sew through the gemstone. Okay, so I came up, just to show you, I came up here, I went over the wire guardian through the gemstone. I'm going up through the wire guardian again. I'm going down through the wire guardian and down into the gold beads on the other side. Okay. Then I'm going to go down, if you can, go down through that gemstone that's right there. You may not be able to get down it, in which case I'll show you an alternate route. Okay, I was able to get down mine. If you can't get down it, you're going to have to go up and down and come down this one over here. Okay, and then once you're down it, you can come, just kind of cut across, go through here, and then go up, back up here, okay, if you can't get through the one that's closest. So we're going to go back up through our pearl. So we've come down from our gemstone right here, and I'm just nipping straight up into the pearl that's right there, okay? I'm going to sew through this one that's in between. Okay. I'm going to go up through the wire guardian one more time. Now, if you can't manage that, don't worry about it, okay? But it's a good idea if you can get into it again. Down through the wire guardian. And do make sure that your thread is sitting in the little channel at the top, okay? And then you're going to continue through that lower down seed bead that's between those two pearls, okay? And then you can go down through the pearl. Okay, and then what you can do is you can sew through your gemstone and tie a knot. Now I'm going to actually do a little bit of reinforcing over on this side right here. So I'm not going to do that right now, but you can see it is a little bit wobbly, so I'm going to have to, I'm probably going to have to stiffen this using something like Mod Podge or diamond glaze or any of the other things that people like to use to stiffen it. But also reinforcing that edge will help as well. This edge is pretty stiff when I sewed all the way back through it. So I'm just going to sew around the other two edges and to try and fix that. And then what we can do is we can put on our drops. So I'll come back in a minute once I've got this more stable. Okay. Okay, so I went ahead and what I did was, obviously I went up, down, up, down, up, down. When you get to the end, turn and then go the other way. And that will sort out any uneven lumps and bumps that you might have. I mean, it is going to look a little uneven because you're doing 15s and 11s. So obviously the 15s are smaller beads. You don't need to be an absolute perfectionist about it, okay? Then what I did once I, you know, got my ends all done, I cut and I left the thread a little long so that when I glue my little stones on, I can glue that down, okay? Because remember, I am gluing some on the back as well as on the front, just to kind of cover up the back a little better, okay? So the only thing left to do now is make our drops and then glue our stones onto our flower spacers. And this has considerably stiffened up. It's still a little bit wonky, so I may have to do something with it, but it certainly the edges are much stiffer now. Okay, all right, so to make our little drop, what I did was I picked up my head pin and I put on one of my blue 11-0s. I found one of my pearls. Hang on, I'm gonna do this one. Make sure that that's a good one. Yep. And one of my gold head pin, gold 11-0s at the top. So I did a blue, a pearl, and then a gold. Okay. Bend it right at the where that gold one is. Then grab your round nose pliers, okay? And I'm doing quite a big loop because it's going to fit around, it's not going around the thread, it's going around this entire bead right here, okay? So it needs to be a little bit bigger than what you might normally think you would need to do. So normally I would do it about here. I actually went all the way to like here, like halfway down my my round nose plier, about here. That's about how big I want it to be. Wrap it over, okay, and I kind of adjusted it down a little bit closer, okay. Once you get about 50% like this, so it's like sticking out at a 90-degree angle, okay. What I do is I grab another pair of pliers just to hold this with and twist this open just a little bit, enough so that you can get it through. Put it through your gap. Make sure that on the bottom you have your 3 and 3, okay, so make sure that that is the gap that you're going through. You don't want to go through the wrong gap. And then I pinched that closed with these pliers, okay. And then I just did one, I didn't want a big curly whirly loop, okay. I just want it closed enough that it's not going to come off. So I just did like one wrap. Just to get back to where it started, which is right here, okay? So I just did one wrap around and then cut it off. And then you can use your needle nose pliers to kind of just tuck that end in if it needs tucking, okay? All right, so that's the first drop. I'm gonna do 2 more drops, and where I'm gonna put them is between this, between the second and the third crystal. I don't want it right here because then it's going to be like way too close in, okay? So you want it between, so you're going to skip these two crystals here and you're going to stick it in right here and right here, okay? And I'll show you on this one so you can see. See how I skipped two and then I put one there, okay? There and there. And that way it's a little further away. It's not like right here up against it, okay? And then you can open your earring. These ones do open just like any other one. Just twist it open. Put it on and twist it closed. Okay, I'm gonna quickly do my other 2 drops, and then I just have to glue the fronts on, and then I'll come back and show you it when it's all finished. Okay, so here they are all finished, and well, this one's finished. So I did, no, not that one. That one's not finished. That's the one we just did. This one, I have glued the lighter stones on the back just to finish that off so that it looks a little better than without, because you can see on the one we did, you can just see like the big gaping holes. So I just think it kind of finishes that off a little nicer. But anyway, I love how these came out, and hopefully you'll try this as well. You know, they're quite fun and different, and very, very pretty. And the nice thing about brick stitch earrings is they're really lightweight. Even though they're a decent size, they don't weigh much at all because they're just one layer, you know. Yeah, let me know if you try these. Be sure to go check out Beebeecraft, and remember to use the code Jules10 if you do want to buy anything there to get 10% off your order. Okay, you guys, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!